Sharks. My name is Cora, and this is my husband Stefan, and we're from Atlanta, Georgia. We're seeking $225,000 for 2.5% equity in our company, Young King Hair Care.
Wow.
Sharks, did you know that? Excuse me, Sharks. It sounds like we may be getting a video call in.
Hey, Sharks. I'm the real shark here. I'll let my parents handle it. I gotta take the car. Bye.
Well, Sharks, that's our son and Chief Inspiration Officer, Cade. And as you can see, he's the one that really runs the show. We actually started this company because of him.
Cade was born with a head full of hair. And we quickly realized that we needed help styling his hair because there was no plant-based, natural, or clean hair care products that were specifically crafted with young men with textured hair. So we created Young King Hair Care. The fastest. Growing multicultural brand for young men.
We currently offer 5 natural hair care products that promote textured hair health and growth and provide a simple regimen to make it easy for both parents and their sons to care for their hair. So, Sharks, if you believe multicultural boys deserve high-quality products really tailored for their needs, please join us on the journey of redefining male grooming by focusing on the next generation. We are Young King Hair Care.
Very nice. Sharks, you'll see that you have.
Woo! All right. So this episode was supposed to air a couple weeks ago. They aired a Ukrainian war in Ukraine situation video special then, and can you hear my Roomba's speaking in the background? You already checked out their website. I'll link that video at the end of the video so you can go over their website and social media with me over there. But yeah, wow, $9 million valuation right out of the gate. So I'm guessing they got some pretty good sales, and it's not. I'm hoping that it's not just hype. I love, and as I stated in the preview video for this a few weeks back, I love the fact that they took it upon themselves to go and reach a demographic that I guess is underserved, right? It's so because there's lots of things for women and young women and little girls. But when it comes to men, like it seems like only somewhat recently we've had companies even like really like targeting the men, like the Dr. Squatch the soap. I tried it. I forget what I got. It was like the black bar or something like that. I didn't like having black soap like suds everywhere. It didn't. Yeah. It was fine. It was great soap. Really expensive. And went really, really fast for what kind of what it is. But yeah, so I love the fact that look, I always say riches in the niches, right? And you go and you find that little sliver of opportunity in between what's being served to a specific demographic and then what's being served to the general population, and you can find your opportunity right there. Now, hopefully, again, got some sales and we can work through all that.
I was raised by a single mom who provided for me and my sister and instilled the confidence in us to go after our dreams. My sister went on to be a physician, and I actually worked my way up the corporate ladder and was a VP at one of the largest healthcare companies in the globe.
Woo.
When I had my son, as you saw, he had so much hair. And I was looking for products that I felt really reflected him as a young man of color. And so it just bothered me that I didn't find anything like that existed. And my husband actually did a little mini Shark Tank with me. And I pitched to him, and he was like, yeah, you're onto something. And I was like, I could have told you that, duh.
And Stefan, are you in the business?
I am in the business. So my entire career has been within marketing. I've worked on some of the most iconic brands that you guys know. So working at General Mills, working on Nature Valley and Fiber One and Progresso, working at Coca-Cola where I ran Sprite for North America.
Wow. Have any competition?
All right, so that is huge, right? So that lends credibility to, well, potentially credibility to the $9 million valuation. Having that level of backgrounds for both of them, dinging the bell for that, is just phenomenal to see. For the company to have such a expansive amount of experience, especially in marketing, because like, look, at the end of the day, a lot of these, thanks Siri, a lot of these products come out, and what's really the difference between all natural, this, that, and the third. The formulation might be different for different types of hair and things of that nature. But what really gets people excited is, and hyped up, and like not just buying it once to try it, but buying it so that they keep going back to it, is the marketing, right? And being able to build a brand and build community and a culture around what your brand is bringing to the table. So if anybody could do it, it sounds like between the two of them, they should be able to knock it out of the park here, which is very awesome to see.
Competition in terms of there being other textured kids hair care brands. There are not a lot of products out there that focus on plant-based, natural, clean ingredients.
But there's
there are
none focused on boys.
Correct.
At all.
Damon, when you were a little
That's
Damon,
the big one.
it's just a little baby
We
Damon.
both had hair.
And you had hair. You both had- What did you use for your hair?
You know, back then, there was either supernatural or you generally just didn't care. We didn't have a lot of information back then.
Right.
When we walked down the aisle, and I haven't been down that hair care aisle in a long time, right? And I walked back down, it hadn't changed in 15 and 20 years. There was nothing else. There's nothing but pinks and oranges. There wasn't anything that spoke to our son, it spoke to boys.
I'm dying to ask. $225,000 for 2.5%. You gotta have big sales.
You guys like sales. So let's talk about $4,100
That's it?
in our first year of sales.
Oh, okay.
So, and that was 2019.
Okay.
So then obviously we know a little thing called COVID kind of impacted the business. So we finished the year in 2020 at 362,000.
That for you is a good increase.
Thank you, that is growth.
Yep.
So far in 2021, we've been okay.
Okay.
We have okay.
Okay.
Is $1.54 million
What?
year to date.
Okay.
And we're on track to
1.54
deliver
million?
$3 million so far this year.
Did
Sorry,
you make
3
any
million?
money?
Stefan, you're going to do 3 million this year?
That is correct.
What? Are you making any money?
Are we making any money? Now, we're not profitable yet. We're not profitable.
Now, okay, that's not a problem. So what this the way I see this is like, look, you're coming in, red hot at a $9 million valuation. You're not making any money at the moment. I don't want to say it's a red flag because I don't see it as a red flag. They just got to maybe do some correcting, course correcting. Hopefully they're not over promoting. But the good thing is, and I go back to this in like so many videos, this is a consumable product. So like you get the customer hooked. Hey, look, little boys become, young adolescents that become young teens, that come, and as long as you eventually get like your product base to scale up with the age group, right? You potentially have like a whole dedicated market that will explode. The good news is they're only asking for $225,000, which is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, not a lot of money. And they at 2.5%, they could give up. They could go and give up 5% or 6%. I mean, when he starts, probably going to want at least 10% just to get involved. But it's a game, potential game changer there for real.
But we've got a path to that.
Listen.
What's your average selling price across the line, and what's your average cost of good across the line?
Our costs come in at about $235 to $350, depending on the SKU. For wholesale, we actually sell that between $6 and $650 to them, and then on DTC we sell up to $14.
So where did the money go?
Obviously, as a new brand, we had to drive brand awareness, right? So about 70% of our expenses go towards marketing.
Wow. That's the problem.
Yeah, so
that's
it's
the
really
problem.
high. But we had to introduce
okay.
a new brand to an audience that didn't know about us.
How much money?
And look, that's exactly what I was just alluding to, right? Like you might not be making any, you might not be profitable today, but you're investing the money into building the community, into building the relationship with those people who, are going to use in theory, hopefully, 60 to 80% will continue to use the product after the first time they buy. So you're literally buying market share.
How much did you raise or borrow, and how much of the
hopefully.
company do you own?
So we raised $1.6 million. We raised $1.6 million
Now I know why you're bald. Let's go.
on a convertible note that closed in March, and that was our seed round.
Listen, I think you are right on the right trend. I definitely think you should put these gorgeous young men, your sons' faces on here, because my biggest marketing thing is you should look at a quick glance and know what something is like that.
And know what the
But
brand is.
I feel this is a super competitive space, so I have concern for you in really growing it to be something enormous. It's just not the right investment for me at this time. I'm out.
Okay, so is that Lori going and saying, like, I'm not a young black male, so I don't know if it, do they have competition? Is that part of the problem? The other thing that really sticks to me is they didn't what percentage they actually own. Hopefully that'll come up later on. I hope, because that could influence why the 2.5% is why that they might only be willing to give up that amount. That's kind of a shame to hear. Look, they say it on the show, like, it's better to have a seed of a grape or a seed of or you want a watermelon or you want a grape or a piece of a watermelon or a piece of a grape. Whatever you know what I'm saying. Anyway, point being is that at a certain point, Robert mentioned this, I think, I forget which pitch it was not that long ago. I did it here on the channel where it's like, you guys could be worth all this money, but everything has to go right. All the chips have to fall in your direction in order for it to work.
Thank you.
Larry.
I see the need for the product. You got investors. You have a responsibility. I understand asking for 2.5, but I can't get behind that for 2.5
What can you get behind, Damon?
Huh?
What can you get behind?
Situations, because a lot of things that we take in consideration. You offer me 2.5, I can't. It's an insult to go to 15 and 20 and all that kind of stuff. It's just not right.
But what would you do?
Feel
Yeah,
good.
what would you do?
Yeah.
I would say I'm out.
Okay.
Out of respect.
All right.
It's obvious you came from a big company because you market like a big company.
Yeah.
And that's tough when you step into an entrepreneurial environment.
Yeah.
Branding as a small entrepreneurial company is a completely different effort. And I'm not sure that you're going to be able to accomplish that. And I'm not sure that, I'm a lean and mean, work your way through type guy. So I don't know if we'd be a fit. So for those reasons, I'm out.
So, all right, that's two huge blows. Like, look, Mark makes a fair point there, and so as well as Damon does, right? He doesn't want to offend anybody by coming back and saying, well, the company's really, it's not making any money, so maybe a third of that valuation would be, at like $3 million, but that's just because of where they are today. Look, marketing can do a lot of things for you. There's a huge difference though when you're marketing in looking at free marketing versus paid marketing. And to Mark's point, when you're getting started, look, you can go and get that $1.6 million, but that's not. I almost kind of want to say that's not really reality. Like, it's a path. It's a path you can take. Now they have such a huge responsibility to those people. We're not talking, a 5,000. I borrowed $5,000 and now I have to make this work. Where it's like, oh well, I could, work a part-time job and make that extra money back, or drive Uber or whatever, and make that extra money back in a worst case scenario. You ain't making back $1.6 million unless this thing flies. This thing's got to fly, right? And yeah, 70% into the marketing is a lot. But as I said before, this is a long game. This is a long game, and I wish I knew how much percentage they still owned, because it sounds like it might not be. If Damon wasn't willing to, ask for like 15 or 20%, because he probably wants more than that for the $225,000, but. I don't know. Maybe it's tough.
Okay. I gotta tell you, amazing product. I believe in you. I believe in the future. I just don't understand the narrow niche aspect of it. Like, what I was hoping was you were gonna build a representative brand to take on all those products.
So we are.
I have to start somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Our goal is to create holistic solutions from very early
Maybe
on, baby, all the way up until their
here's my
teen.
challenge. You have
Robert,
a lot of.
we're growing. We've got skincare that's actually launching.
I wish you had all that, but at to Damon's point, what at 2.5%? What am I going to ask for? 3.1, and we're negotiate at 2.7, 2.9. I can't get there at the 2.5%. I wish you all the best. I mean, honestly, two of the most impressive people I've ever seen on that carpet.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
out.
you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm out. Yeah. It does keep coming back to the valuation. Look, if they come in with a whole bunch of SKUs, I would be saying, if you're not making money, then you got to start cutting the fat somewhere until you can get traction, and then you move into those things one, at a time here. By injecting $1.6 million, you're trying to like rocket your way to the moon as quickly as possible, and if 70%, without knowing all of the math, it does tend to make me think that I don't know how much they got left in of the 1.6 million raised, but tends to make me think that there isn't maybe not a whole lot of that left, or they're on a trajectory for there not to be a whole lot of that left, with the hope again that you're going to rocket your way into extreme profitability and be able to make it worth everybody's money and time.
I'll tell you guys, and I know one of the things that's important, and one of the things that we teach our son Cade, right, is the word can't, right? Can't is not in your vocabulary. And I understand where you guys come from. We came here not to just be here, right, but to find and leverage your expertise to really help us grow. Is there any flexibility we're open to if it's a line of credit? Is there any debt vehicles that people might want to be interested in? Because we'd love to partner, because again, we're still growing for the future and we have a lot of runway.
Did I hear the word royalty?
Actually, no. I don't think he said it.
I thought I heard royalty.
Yeah.
I don't think he said royalty at all, actually.
I don't know where that came from.
It says young king. A king is royalty. That's what it is. Young king, royalty.
Royalty, yes.
What I like about this, it has sales.
Yeah.
A lot
of sales.
And when there's sales, sometimes my hair starts to grow back. Because it can support a royalty. My favorite structure, as you know. You have the margins. I would give you the $225,000 for $1 a SKU until I get back to $225, and then it drops to 50 cents in perpetuity.
Kevin,
That's enormous.
What you're saying is this is forever. So
Forever.
when Kay has kids,
Correct.
his
Robert,
kids will be
I
paying
don't
royalty.
have any equity, so why would I do it any other way?
Cade is sounding like he's going to be working for Mr. Wonderful, which I'm not sure Cade's not enough for that.
Yeah, well, it's better for Mr. Wonderful too. I mean, look, he's not gonna have any equity. Bravo, awesome. We were talking about 2.5% in the first place. Like, 50 cents is pretty rich. After 200, they could sell the 225,000. I think the dollar part to 225,000, super nice. But I would be looking for that to at least to come down to half or a quarter of that 50 cents, because that hurts. That hurts a lot. It's not, they don't have, I mean, they're profitable, they're making profit, but even, you look at like the $2.35 to $6, right? So it's really, I mean, unless they can get their costs down further or be able to raise the price, which I don't know what the headroom on hair care products is, because like I ain't buying a whole lot of those recently. I think 50 cents is forever. Is no. Gotta renegotiate.
I'm the only shark that believes in
Yeah,
you.
come back.
I just don't know that makes sense for us.
I love you guys. All right. I know you're not going to do that deal. I'll give you an offer.
Whoa.
I think royalties are tough because someone's going to buy you.
Yeah.
But I'll do it for 50 cents until I get a 2x return on the money I give you. So I'm going to give you $225,000. When you pay me back $450, the royalty stops. I want a 5% equity that converts if the company gets sold. So I help you now, and if you grow, I convert to 5%.
You know what? That's going to be much more expensive than my royalty. If you sell this business one day,
it's much more expensive.
If you sell this business one day for $500 million, you paid way more to him.
You know what? If you sell the business for $500 million, you don't care.
The cost.
I like that deal.
I think
into
the ground.
that's a huge mistake. This is the balance between equity and royalties. It's a great lesson.
Okay, so it is a great lesson. The 5%, I would counter back to like my 2.5% at that point. Maybe even give him 3x on his return, so he gets his money out, his return on the money. But that's a. I don't think I've seen Robert, and let me know in the comments. But I don't think I've seen Robert come up with as creative of a deal like that. And that's not even that crazy, creative of a deal, but just something that's a little more outside the box.
Go ahead.
Stefan, I can't read lips.
Yeah,
so you don't have to do that.
We're going back. I appreciate. I think first and foremost, like both Mr. Wonderful and Robert, I appreciate y'all. Our issue is cash flow, and because of we're spending so much in other places, so royalty is a little difficult for us, for both of you guys. So respectfully, I don't think that we're going to be able to take a royalty.
Good for you. Way to stick to your guns.
We built this from the beginning from just us. We built it for our son, Cade, and I think that's the thing that we think about. We're doing everything for him. We'll be back, hopefully. We'll be back, and then, you'll see and hear Young King for a while.
Hear Young King.
What you did there was sneak in a 5% of the exit price, which may ultimately cost them way more than 50 cents a bottle.
You're sucking so much cash out of them.
I can't believe the savagery, the greed you exposed them to.
Wow, that is something, right? So, So, Cora, Stefan, I would love to have you come on the show, have a conversation, talk about your Shark Tank experience, talk about the business. Just drop me a comment down below, like, Tahira? I don't know if I pronounced that right. Love what you're doing. Greatly appreciate you watching, making it to the end here. I'll see you over in this preview video where I checked out their website and social media, or I'll see you down here below. Take care. Go be super.